Today we're talking about PlayStation because they just announced a huge price increase for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro. The base PS5 is going up in cost by $100. The PS5 Pro is going up in price by $150.
Dark Outlaw Games, and now this, man. Like I said, I guess the PlayStation 5 Pro is dead, man. What is Sony doing? Because if this was Xbox, y'all be out here saying that the Xbox platform is dead. But you know what I find so funny about this is the fact that you fanboys don't even realize as to why this is happening in the first place. And I've already told you, it's to help gauge interest in Sony or even what Microsoft is doing in their new next generation platform. Remember when I told you games to win another W? I used the argument of 800 to 1,000. Now it's 900, right? So why would anybody pay $900 for a PS5 Pro, and then when Sony drops the PlayStation 6 possibly for 1,000 or 1,200 bucks, which one are you gonna buy? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. The PlayStation 6. Now I know it sounds stupid, but according to these companies, it's their way of incentivizing their new platform over the older one. It's no different than what they do with the phones. Hey, man, you pay money, you get more of the iPhone, You go from a 16 to a 17 for $200, 200 bucks. It's the same exact thing that they're doing with consoles, as well as the RAM shortages.
Can I be honest? Before we even start breaking this down and look at reactions, I actually gasped. It's 7 a.m.
When he says gasp, he meant he gasped.
I woke up early to get some donuts and stuff, do some cardio, and while I'm walking around, I see this just pop up on my phone. I actually gasped.
He means gas. Like, he had a nice gas giant coming from out his behind in his toilet bowl. Because that's all he ever speaks of, man. It's crazy that you ponies was out here mocking Xbox for raising the price, and I'm hearing that they're possibly going to lower theirs, and now yours are going up. I mean, like I said, man, it just doesn't pay to be a fanboy. At the end of the day, we all know as to why this is happening in the first place. I've told you guys this is to gauge interest into their next new platforms they got coming out. Microsoft, if they do lower, that will be a boss move for them in this current situation. But hey, at the end of the day, Microsoft and PlayStation don't care if you buy the new hardware. You're still giving them money to play on the old games. That's the only saving grace for Nintendo right now. Okay, you're still giving us money to play those same Switch 2 games online. And like I said, man, you Switch 2 owners don't buy nothing. I know it's third party, but you guys finally got a Virtual Fighter game. And I was expecting Nintendo fanboys to be playing it, and ain't none of y'all on. I already owned the game on Xbox. I'm like, why I even bought this? I thought I wanted the people like, oh, but you had a game, so why would you? Because I wanted to play with Nintendo dudes. You feel me? I could have done that through my Xbox, but I figured, you guys would probably turn crossplay off. You probably wouldn't want to play with the big boys on PlayStation and Xbox and PC, but it's ridiculous. Nobody's playing on this platform, bro. Oh, but they don't like fighting games. Oh, yeah, but you like Smash Bros, though, right? And I'm just saying, man, Nintendo gamers, man, when the Switch 1 came out, there was way more people playing games online. From first to third party, there's practically nobody. Why am I even paying for online? Why am I even paying $20 a year to play a game that nobody's playing? And what's even more crazy, it's a new release. The game just dropped and ain't nobody on it from Nintendo. I was playing Xbox dudes through. I'm like, I said, what's the point? I could have just been playing this on my Xbox. This is crazy, man. Nintendo gonna have to do something, man. They're gonna have, because I feel like a lot of people are losing interest with the Switch too. I really do, man. You guys can keep capping and keep denying that, but I'm telling you, man, I don't think nobody's really gaming on it.
This is some of the biggest price increases I've ever seen in any console generation, because typically consoles get cheaper. But let's take a look at the news, the prices, and a lot of the instant reactions, because even though the sun ain't up, people are already screaming at Sony, what the heck? Dave Ramsey does these basically these financial help talk show. This thing is huge here in Texas. You can see all the Texas stuff in the background. So you financed your PS5 on Klarna. You can't make the minimum prior payments. That's right, Dave.
Let me explain something to y'all. When you see things like this, all this shows to me that the next generation of consoles are going to be $1,000 and up. You guys can't keep refuting this. I mean, at this point, with the way they're raising the old console, what makes you think that the Xbox PC as well as the PlayStation 6 is going to be $600 dirt cheap? It's not, guys. I'm sorry. And I don't think Microsoft and Sony care if you can't buy it because you're still locked in to the ecosystem of playing the old gen. So therefore, it doesn't matter to them.
Doing this thing where they almost wait for Xbox to go first. Xbox increases prices, and then Sony tries to sneak theirs out too.
Yeah, we know
Now,
that.
Sony has also been increasing the price of PlayStation Plus, which honestly has been annoying me almost even more than the console prices. But this is insane. $550 to $600.
And I think gamers need to speak up. But the problem is there's not enough people like you, me, or anybody else that's gonna personally care because those same people have caved into a lot of these anti-consumer practices. On top of the fact that I hate to admit it, guys, you guys are not the market leader. They're doing these things to cater to a market that is not there. I know people's like, why would you do that? You said it's not there. It's there in a way where they want to secure that gamer. Okay, they're losing money. That's the reason why they're doing this, guys. They're raising the prices of the consoles. They're raising the prices of the memberships. They're raising the prices of the games because there's not enough. So you know who's paying in the end? The gamers. The genuine people that have built the foundations of video gaming. We are paying in the end. Okay? The casuals are not paying anything. The only thing they're paying for is Fortnite skins and V-Bucks and Roblox money. Y'all know this. They're the ones destroying your hobby. So while you out here sitting there fighting about Xbox, fighting about Nintendo, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the core demographic of gaming is over. You got to remember when people picked up a PlayStation 1, they were probably 20 to 30 years old. Just because you guys were young and children doesn't necessarily mean that people that were gaming back then weren't playing these games. When they were in their 30s, 20s, and their 30s, or maybe even 40s, you still think they're playing video games now? Guarantee they most definitely are not. All right? It is what it is, guys. The dinosaur era is over. It's prehistoric. If you want to go find some old fossils, which I would say is retro games, then by all means, go find some. Because at the end of the day, all this complaining and nothing's going to change. Because they're not doing this to cater to you. They're doing it to cater to the casual gamer that doesn't know any better. The Fortnite gamer's not going to complain. Hey, mommy, I need to pick up my PS5 for $649. Now that looking like the price of the Series X that y'all were complaining about. Look at that. Y'all got some Series X prices going on here, man. This is ridiculous, bro. I don't know, man. This is the gaming that y'all signed up for. This is embarrassing.
$150. The base digital edition is going up from $500 to $600.
Wow.
Can I be honest? They've done the first couple price increases sucked.
All this, and you know what? And people are gonna still continue to buy them because you know why? 92 mil, GTA 6. Ain't nobody paying this type of money for games with no exclusive. I mean, with exclusives, they're buying it for third party. I guarantee they'll pay $900 for an enhanced version of GTA. I mean, they're literally paying this type of money on top of pay. It's like Sony and Microsoft are getting ready. They know GTA 6 is on the horizon, so they said, you know what? Let's try to pump up as much money as we can make because we know that's going to be the biggest game of gaming history.
But they were tiny. The first couple of price increases were like, oh, the disc drive is $20 more expensive. Oh, the controllers are $5 more expensive.
No, they realize gamers are stupid.
It's an insane. What is that? That's like an 18% price jump instantly. PS5 Pro goes from $750 to $900. PlayStation Portal from $200 to $250.
And you know what's funny? This is so bad. But what makes it worse, this is what happens when you hype up hardware, y'all. This is what happens when you hype up hardware over games. Because what my whole thing is the fact that, yeah, the price increase is kind of sad. But what makes it even worse is the fact that you got no games, bro. That's what aggravates me, is that y'all raising the price of these consoles like it's some premium product. Even all you're doing is taking the recycle in the same shell and putting a new price tag on it. And the game library is still the same. That is what, but that also goes to show you that they don't care about y'all. They only care about the Fortnite gamer. That's all they care about, man. These companies ain't taking no losses no more. They're no longer selling these consoles at a loss or the games at a loss. And if a game that they make is sold at a loss, they rather just cancel it. This is the generation of gaming that we're in. And this is quite sad to see, to be honest with you.
It's just, I know I keep saying this. I put this into multiple videos. I do think that gaming is hitting an absolutely apocalyptic level of it. There used to be different lanes of gaming. There used to be like premium gaming, the people buying the new $60 games, that's how much games cost at the time, and the people buying the
I remember when they were 50.
slightly older stuff. Oh, you're enjoying the new Jack and Daxter. You're enjoying
But they weren't getting no money because they were too busy picking those out, used at Funko Land, GameStop, and pulling them out the bargain bin. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these retails also caused for the demise of these companies because people weren't outright supporting the developers. Okay, it is what it is. But at the time, they were able to get away with it because games didn't cost that much money to make. These games cost $300 or $400 million on average for just a solid AAA.
Uncharted. Okay, well, I'm still playing Uncharted 1. I'm going to wait for that bundled collector's edition when the whole trilogy is done.
And how how is PlayStation going to make money off a gamer like that? They can't. Especially back then, it was a little bit more sustainable because games didn't cost that much money to make. But they can't afford to do that now. They don't want people like you buying on the next Intergalactic for $20 in the bargain bin. They want you to pay full price for it. And this is why Game Pass has been successful, because Microsoft is getting the price of one game through 2 months of Game Pass Ultimate. Y'all like, oh, snap, Games, I see what you're saying. $30. That's $60 in 2 months. That's essentially a purchased game. If you look at it from that grand scheme, you're like, oh, snap, Games, you're right. So when you look into the memberships, y'all like, oh, snap, they paying $360 just to be on Xbox Live Game Pass Ultimate. That is like the total of what, 3, 4, 5, 6 games that you didn't purchase. You big dummy.
Discount gaming.
What do y'all don't understand? I told y'all this is about the ecosystem and live service and subscriptions. Gamester with another W. I've told you guys way before anybody that we're not in a console war. We are in a live service and subscription war. I've told y'all this. These companies don't care, bro. Because you know why? Free-to-plays. That's why. They're trying to get those free-to-play gamers to play something else. They're just waiting for the day Fortnite dies, and then they eventually have to find something else. And hey, look, I finally discovered Sony. I finally played God of War Reboot for the first time. Now I love it. That's all it is. But I don't know, man. Fortnite don't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. And I think that's what's dangerous.
To be a separate possible avenue, but everything is just getting so incredibly expensive. Like, look, I like my PlayStation 5 Pro. I like my PlayStation 5 Pro quite a bit, to be honest. But if I tried to tell somebody, hey, here's my $900 game console, I mean, it's absolutely insane.
Like I've said before, man, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You put the donut down, G. It doesn't matter, bro. You know, you guys can keep doing this. You guys can keep fighting for these console wars, but time and time again, it's shown that these companies do not care about y'all. It is what it is. You guys can keep defending them. You guys can keep going out in the shield for them. I've already accepted that gaming will never be the way that I imagined or remembered it. So like I said, you got to go out there and scavenge through the scraps. Yeah, as a Nintendo gamer, you hate game key cards? Yes, I do as well. But get them on the low. Why you pay $70? Get them on the low. A game key card, $10, $15. Get the hustle on. See, that's the problem. Y'all not hustling. I get it. Everybody wants to steal, like Nintendo Prime said, everybody wants, hey, that's not going to stop me from getting my game on. That's true. But why you got to get your game on for supporting anti-consumer practices? And I know what people say, well, that's still supporting anti-consumer, but that's not the money that they was trying to make. They're trying to make the full $70. Even if you buy the game new for $20, they still took a loss on it. See, this is not, you guys don't know nothing about gaming. Or if you buy it used, they didn't make your money. The retailer or whoever you bought the game made your money instead. Get the hustle on, brother. That's why I be trying to tell you. I'm doing it with the Switch 2 right now. I paid $300 for it. You guys got to get the hustle on. Stop complaining. Like I said, you guys got to find ways to hustle the system. That's what it is, bro. You guys are sitting there complaining with your hands in your pants and your hands in your pockets. Do something about it. Like I've told you, guys got to find ways. Nobody's saying, okay, yeah, game key cards suck, but you ain't got to pay $70 for them. Get your hustle on. Be like, okay, wait for these game keys to drop and then buy them accordingly. That's it. Buy them used if you got to. But I hear that the Nintendo brick switches if it was done, trying to dump games with it. So you still got to be careful. So Nintendo was perfectly malicious as to why they did that. So it's like I said, man, companies are only going to make it worse for you. We are definitely in a digital age future, even if when you're buying physical media like game key cards, man. You guys got to find a way out, man. We in the wild west of gaming right now. For the old school game. Y'all in the Wild West, man. But hey, like I said, try to scavenge as many scraps, find like Crimson Desert, for example. The game ain't on a CD. I'm gonna wait for the game to be priced at $20 and then I'll buy it. They're not gonna be happy with that. That's why companies like we're tired of printing out physical media. If it's in the store, they can keep it at $70 and drop the price accordingly. But the problem is with retail, when they got games like that and new stuff comes out, they have to lower the price. They have to. They have to lower so they can put new items or new things in stock. So the thing that's Crimson Desert might need to be taken at Target for some other game that just came out 6 months after it. You see how this works? Therefore, they have to drop the price of the game to get rid of it. That's why companies are tired of printing out physical media. Now they're like, okay, we'll do physical media, but we're going to give you a reason as to why it's not even necessary in the first place. You need to still be able to access it online. This is DRM at its finest, man. It is what it is, man. This is the gaming industry that you guys have signed up for. I've tried to warn you time and time again. At the end of the day, you guys have created this monster, and now you got to deal with it. You have created Frankenstein, and now that he's walking around the village out here messing around with people's life, now you want to destroy it. Y'all built this monster. I swear, this is like an episode of Frankenstein. Y'all have built Frankenstein. And now you're looking for the guy from Wolfenstein to stop Frankenstein. But nobody cares about Wolfenstein no more because that game came out a long time ago. Wolfenstein can't stop Frankenstein. He's going around destroying the pony stables. He's destroying Xbox consoles. He's making sure people on Nintendo Switch. I mean, it is what it is. We're dealing with a bunch of Frankensteins here. Destroying gaming from inside out, and y'all got to see it burn. Take care. Peace out. And enjoy your donut.